What socio-political messages are in underground comics? Imagine flipping through comic books that don't just tell stories but challenge the way society sees itself. That's what underground comics of the 1960s were all about. They burst onto the scene as a way for artists to speak out against the rules and restrictions of mainstream comics. These comics openly questioned authority, traditional values, and even cultural taboos. They used humor, satire, and sometimes shocking images to make their points. One of the biggest messages was opposition to the Vietnam War and the military draft. Many underground comics voiced strong anti-war feelings, criticizing government decisions and the military-industrial complex. They reflected the broader peace movement and the distrust many young people felt toward their leaders. These comics also tackled issues of civil rights and racial tensions. Some artists used provocative racial caricatures to mock injustice and highlight hypocrisy, though this sometimes caused controversy. It showed how complex and tense race relations were during that time. Sexual liberation was another major theme. Artists used explicit content to challenge conservative views on sex and morality. They pushed boundaries to promote freedom of expression, but this sometimes led to accusations of misogyny, especially since many creators were men. Women in the counterculture fought to be heard and challenged both mainstream patriarchy and sexism within the underground scene itself. Drug culture also played a big role. Psychedelic drugs and altered states of consciousness appeared often in these comics. They captured the hippie movement's fascination with expanding perception and exploring spirituality. The comics often portrayed drug use with humor and irreverence, reflecting the experimental spirit of the time. Religious criticism was common too. Many underground comics satirized religious institutions and figures, questioning their influence on society. This was part of a broader rejection of traditional authority figures. The comics also fought against censorship, especially the Comics Code Authority, which restricted what could be shown in mainstream comics. Underground comics embraced adult themes and explicit content to push back and claim creative freedom. All these messages combined to make underground comics a vivid mirror of the 1960s counterculture. They used humor, shock, and critique to challenge social norms on war, race, sex, drugs, and authority. They gave a voice to dissenting ideas and reflected the tensions and contradictions of a decade full of change.